Subscribe to ULO and never miss out on our weekend and racing festival tips, with more racing coverage on our website, at ulo.co.uk. Later next week, make sure to check out the ULO Weekender on Spotify, to get the lowdown on the big races coming your way. It's going to be a bracingly chilly day at Newbury Park on Saturday, so wrap up warm if you are heading to the Berkshire track where the best of the racing action is. In the run-up to the Cheltenham Festival, this fixture is ideally placed for one last prep run. Look out for Haiti Couleurs, who lines up in a hurdle as Rebecca Curtis looks to protect the handicap mark, while Rialco can score for Dan Skelton in the closer. The premier handicap on the card can go to Secret Squirrel, who finally delivered on all his promise when scoring at Windsor last month, atoning for a last fence fall at Ascot in December. Up at Warwick, Irish raider Gala Marceau can score in the listed mare's hurdle for Willie Mullins. Saturday's nap goes in the feature, the Denman Chase. Horses for courses is the order of the day as Brave Man's Game looks to make it 4 from 4 at Newbury Park. However, he's not been seen at his best so far this campaign, with his usual pin-sharp fencing not in evidence, though to be fair, he probably went too much after Ile Francais in the King George at Kempton last time out, and inevitably paid the price. DJLO, by contrast to Brave Man's Game, is totally unexposed at this trip. And having course form too makes him an interesting contender, with this soft ground just the ticket. Paul Nicholls also runs Hitman, second in this race last year, but he does lack the strike rate of his stablemate, Brave Man's Game. These are the three, but DJLO has younger legs and can score for the in-form Venetia Williams and Charlie Deutsch team. An exotic looks tempting. Our next best is next up, in the Game Spirit. With the exciting Sergino ruled out with a hind leg niggle, Matata makes plenty of appeal for this Grade 2. It was notable that Nicky Henderson was ready to send Sergino out into open company on just his second start over fences, before he lines up in the Arkle at the Cheltenham Festival. Such is the impression that he made at Kempton on his chasing bow. That leaves the Seven Barrows handler looking to get a run into Sergino before the big date in March. In his absence, Matata can get upsides of both Alan King's Edwardstone and Evan Williams' Liberty Hunter, who will both relish this ground, so a super contest is lined up, even without Sergino taking his place. Matata to go in for Nigel Twiston Davies, with the newly retained jockey JJ Slevin up top an added plus. Earlier on, Nicky Henderson can take the opener on the Newbury card with Keensheim. Bought by J.P. McManus, and sent to the Seven Barrows yard. She won cosily at Kempton on Boxing Day. And on softer ground here there should be more to come, with winning form from France on heavy going already in the book. Paul Nicholls has plenty of depth in his team for Saturday's Newbury meeting, and Tutti Quanti rates the main danger to Keensheim, but does have to give the mare £3. Gold and Green of J.P. McManus to taste first blood. In the Novices Limited Handicap Chase, Lord of Thunder is the one to follow, and although no match for handstands when they crossed swords in the Towton at Foss Lass last month, looks solid for this for Joe Tizard. That form from the Towton has been rubber-stamped with handstands and all-the-way winner in the Grade 1 Scilly Isles last week, and this is there for the taking for this getaway gelding, who lines up on a very workable mark. Plenty of dangers though, not least Warren Greatrex's hat-trick seeking Heracles Westwood and John Joe O'Neill's St. Davy, a late faller in the Towton when still in the running. Up at Warwick, there's just the four lining up for the Grade 2 Kingmaker, but only one that all eyes will be on. Dan Skelton's exciting novice chaser Lo Du Sud has already scored at the highest level this term when tasking the Grade 1 Henry VIII at Sandown Park, in December. And this drop in grade is expected to see the Lord Du Sud Grey right on the money once again. Stablemate risk in the ground has gone off the boil recently, so Paul Nicholls' rue board rates the big danger, if staying on his feet after falling in the Wayward Lad at Kempton last time out. A huge surprise is on the cards if Lodou Sud doesn't win here, at a price to match that expectation.